URSA Mini Pro low light test. This is pretty low light. Let's give us a little more light. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So there's some more light, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I need to waft this. Give me a sec. Waft, waft, waft. That looks cool. That'll waft away later. Low light test. In this corner over here, you can see it's pretty low light because the fog's not hitting there, and this beam is not hitting it. So you can see if there's any fixed pattern noise in this corner. And also I'm shooting at 400 ISO at 2.8 on a Canon 50-1.4, 180 shutter, 2398, 3600 Kelvin. I have a Boltzmann light over here as the streak, as the you know, what is that called? I've been saying it all day. The beam, the shaft of light. Another Boltzmann with a tungsten filter on it, keying me. I think I can scroll through some different ISOs and close down the aperture so you can see what 400, 800, and 1600 look like. So like I said, this 400 ISO calibrated the sensor for the black shading, and this should be pretty good because I've had good experiences shooting low light at 400, which isn't terribly high, but if you have enough light then it'll look okay in my experience. But I'll look at the footage again and see what happens. 400 now at 800, one stop down, or one stop up and then one stop down, so we're equivalent. And this is 800 ISO. Again, you have this corner of low light. I'm not sure what shows on the false color. I can try to check that out right now. Yeah, there you go. So on false color, this is dark blue and that is purple in the very corner. So there is still information there, but in the purples is usually where I find the fixed pattern noise. But this looks okay from my 702, but again, I can't see anything. So let's try 1600 now. Oh, 5.6. Oh, I can already see the fixed pattern noise. Right there, just right here, I already see fixed pattern noise right in my 702. So 1600 is pretty much unusable on any of these cameras. I've found, I've tried it sometimes. It has this weird magenta shift to it. And yeah, it's a weird thing going on. So if you're shooting in low light, I very much suggest shooting in 400 ISO, maybe 800 if you do black shade calibrating, but 400 is your safest bet because I have experienced fixed pattern noise with 800 ISO. Let's go back to 400. And it looks darker than earlier. Why? I mean, my false color is telling me the same thing. I should probably open up a little bit or do something to give myself a little bit more exposure, but this is again a low light test. So here's low light. I'm looking at the false color. I'll take a picture of it so you can kind of see what areas are truly no data. So I'll post this and you can see that in the corner there's no data and everywhere else there's small bits of data. In the blue areas of false color I've seen fixed pattern noise, the purple I've definitely seen some. So in the footage we'll see, and I probably graded this with a little bit of contrast, dip the blacks down, do some things like that, because that's usually what I do. I crush the blacks a bit and then add like an S curve and maybe some kind of Fuji film stock light. So yeah, that's a video for you guys. URSA Mini Pro low light test. I finally got my camera back after it being stolen, which I probably didn't talk about at all. Actually, I think I know why it's dying. This battery's probably dying, so the light's getting dimmer. So that's probably not a good thing, but I think you could see what happened earlier when you went 800, 1600, and you can see the low light even better because I'm very, very underexposed. And yeah, that should be it for this video. Fog. I wish it was haze. Haze would be so much nicer. Goodbye. Oh, the 702 died. Wow, things are just dying right now. That's great. Cut it.